But let me see. I think there is actually a formation lap. Aye, there is. There we go. So we've got the formation lap.
First information in a while.
Yeah, and it feels weird seeing a formation lap again. Literally seen one the other day, but that's not the point. But this is the because we've had today we've had to just go straight to the race on F122 because the formation lap had a particular glitch where it gave the host advantage or something like that in terms of the tyre temperatures of the deg or whatever. I can't exactly remember the thing, and that's probably no good because I am absolutely clueless when it comes to the game in terms of its tech side. Marsh says Ogween in the chat, and then Streamlabs says Aston Martin, not Test Masters.
I've checked that. They've obviously.
So Ogween's got a wee command name there for him.
Mitzi
Where's
from
my
second.
command?
Yeah, I know.
Where's
Come on.
Where's my Mckeon? Exactly. Honestly, they're missing a trick there. Dam's some way back, but I don't know if that's.
I need to get that. Thanks for reminding me. Seems to caught up.
Jam's all the way back there.
I see. Sorry, yeah, Jam's in 10th. I'll get him messed up. It's on the hards, so they're probably a bit colder. Let's have a look at the tyres.
Sorry, Max. Marsh, if you can do like a command saying, I don't know, like just like my name or something, and then just be like, I can. Like, that'd be fan derby. As long as it's for free, that's all that matters. So like, if somebody like does like exclamation mark rigs in the chat, I'll just be like, I can. It seems to be my catchphrase that's clicked on over the years in SLR and just the general league racing landscape. But aye. Any quick comments for the race, Max, before we do the wee countdown and lights it?
Connor to get points.
I second that, to be fair. And no Connor is cost because the commentator's cost is very real. Sorry, Connor.
Race shoulder's gone a bit too. Obviously, that's back to the immersive. You have to start a certain amount of distance. So, yeah, that beats it.
You have to get it just right. Simba's saying, "Here we go." You're taking to steal my thunder, but here we go. We're going to try and get a good camera angle for us, but it's a very dodgy one. We've got the 5 lights, and we've got the 5 lights, and they're off, and we're racing, and we've got a rear view of the Mercedes. We can't get a front for some reason. It's a very sketchy camera angle. There is Crowden tries to squeeze himself up the in between the two of them there, but it's Ogween taking the lead. Crispy taking it back though, and there's contact. Oh, there's big contact.
Oh, he's out.
There's absolutely massive contact there by the race leaders there on the opening few corners there, and Crispy's getting no wing. Crowden has damage as well, and Ogween is immediately out of the race, and we've got Ogween leading the race. So for Crispy being on pole, is his teammate leading for P5 on the grid. Let's see the position changes as well. So Snipes is up 4, Roller's up 2, Corey's up 4, Elite Midzy you're at 5 after what has been a very chaotic start to the race. I don't really know how to explain that. It looked like you could see the yellow flags. Is it a VSC we're under? Because it doesn't actually tell me.
VSC.
So we've got a VSC.
There's no safety car come out on the map. So, well, for me, it looked like Crispy might have just hit the curb on the turn 2, and his car just drifted over into Ogween's line, and then they kind of connected and spun, and then, well, crowding basically had nowhere to go. And
that is probably what I would probably say as well. Like, you could see Ogween go a nice clean move up the inside. Crispy gave him the space. Crowden had to back out of it, and then through turn 2, the Mercedes had a bit of a wiggle, and I think that's kind of what created that contact, and that's what's led to that main incident. It's just the Mercedes had a bit of a wiggle for what we could see for our initial view.
Yeah.
But that's
here we go.
Ogween's having an early day, but
the
racing is back underway.
Sam has gone
and that's
on the restart. I think he might have got caught out, actually, from people going into the pits by the looks of it. But yeah, 17 caught out. I think obviously Crispy got a little bit of wheel spin off the start by the looks of it. Obviously the camera angles were quite poor. But yeah, it looked like he got a bit of wheel spin. Crowding got the best start of all three, but got pinched a little bit. And then yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it's a disastrous start for Crispy and Crowden, who were definitely for Ogween as well. So the three we were actually kind of looking at in terms of fancying our chances for the victory. I've got it all today now for the back of the grid in an early pit stop as well. As we are on board with Mids 8. Well, we're on board with the broadcast camera with Mids 8 as well. As he's up into P5, so he's up 3 places. Jettle up 7 into P6, so he's still in 13th and is already up into 6th as well. Jam and Jensen gaining places. Bez is the outsider for the podium. Is probably the only person not to have gained or lost on the start there mix. So yeah. Bez is probably just kind of like, right, you know what? I don't mind 9th. I'll take it for the now. And I think he's just going to try and settle in. But what he'll need to do is keep in the DRS of Jensen, who's already lost it for Jam. So it could be a matter of just pulling a wee bit to get back into the slipstream. Because I think, as you'll know yourself, and I'll know myself as well, formerly being drivers in the other areas, we know how much the league, the top tier, is characterised by DRS trains.
Oh, a spinner.
You'll know that.
We've got a spinner.
Oh,
yes, Corey.
Oh, well, that's Corey. Oh, that's Corey's away. Oh, I've completely missed it.
I was just on board
with him.
That's
a full safety car.
It is. I was just sitting on board with Corey because he was just been detached from roller as well, and then yeah, he's just had a bit of oversteer mid corner, and he's tried to correct it and corrected it a little bit too much, and he's gone into the wall.
And that's definitely not what Corey would have needed, especially after Imola. And he would have probably been coming to Miami looking to get a fresh start and try and kickstart his championship charge once again. He was looking very favourable in Imola, and he was probably coming to Miami just to try and keep that momentum. But a wee mistake there has cost him a wheel, and it's cost him any chance of points here in Miami. But that's a very tricky bit of the circuit though, because you've got turn 1 and 2, and then 3 is immediately after that. And see, there is this point in that long turn 3 where the back of the car does want to just step out, like, and you kind of have to either decide if you want to lose a lot of momentum to correct it, or just keep the throttle down and hope you can fix it on the fly. It's a weird one, because I did a bit of practice for this earlier in the week, and by saying a bit of practice I meant maybe like an hour's worth, to be fair. It's quite a lot, but like there was times where like you had to lift off the throttle and then put it back on immediately so that the car would grip up for the rears and it would actually stop the spin. But I don't really know if that made any sense in any capacity. But
yeah, I mean, it's just he kind of get lucky and save them. Obviously, it's not ideal losing the car anyway, but we've got a few cars in the pits now. Yeah, it's kind of a bit too early to pit. Anywhere people can pit and then go back onto that tyre if they want to. But yeah, we'll see.
See, because my kind of thing is as well is see when you're looking at the likes of like, I mean, just a general question, right? But see if you're like maybe the likes of like Crispy and Crowden, who and like Sam, you're making up the back of the grid. Like, do you know, like, ever feel like it's worth maybe just chancing your aim on the softs, or is it just the fact that the softs are too degradable that it just kind of completely eliminates that option?
Yeah, I didn't realise Stan retired and all that. Did he just come to the pits and... Oh, yeah.
I just thought that day. Like, Stan's no having any it. Stan's just like, you know what? Nah, stuff it.
Monkey.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, yes. No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I loved the confidence, and you're like,
yes, it is, because Division is still Division, and Monkey is not still Monkey. He changed his name to SLR Stan, formerly my teammate actually from last season. Won a race in Monza.
Max and Monkey tearing it up.
Yeah. But yeah, let's have a look. So, Connor to get points prediction is on its way, but a long way to go. I imagine safety car will be in next lap. I'd watch out for the drivers on the hard compound tyres, as they are notoriously harder to get warmed up, especially on the safety car. So yeah, watch out for Elite and Mid-C to be under pressure. Maybe Jitto can gain a little bit more. But yeah, obviously heartbreak for one side of the Williams garage and Aston Martin. I think I'm going to blame that on Marsh for causing saying the exclamation Ogween. Yeah, great.
Have you just seen it?
Yes.
Aye.
Yeah, I just Marsh should put the Ogween thing in there, and Aston Martin 1-2, nothing else matters, and then obviously Ogween gets involved in the first lap incident and is out of the race. So yeah, it's all about commentator's curse. We've already had commentator's curse on Chris Speed. I said Roller would finish second. He's currently in second place. And well, Roller obviously got through all that fine. Managed to escape any sort of damage. Snipes came through from fifth to get very obviously had a great run through there through all of that. Obviously it all opened up on the right hand side while they came across to the left. Crowding went to the left and got involved in it. And I guess the Snipes went to the right, Race Roller went to the right and got through. But is safety car going to come in this lap? It is.
Yep. It's the fact that I couldn't actually tell how much of a step Snipes got because we got such a dodgy camera angle. Like, I don't know if that was like you as well. Like,
yeah, same for me.
I seen Roller and Snipes kind of gone side by side into turn 1 and 2, and I didn't actually expect Snipes to kind of get into first. I turned around and you says like I was on board with Ogween, who was involved with Crispy and Crowden at the start, and it went, oh, all right. His Elite has picked up a 5-second penalty.
We're off.
But is Snipes going to gun it off the final couple of corners? Or is he waiting?
He's gone.
He's away. He's caught Roller sleeping. And Snipes gets us back on the white. It's lap 6 of 29 here in Miami. And we've got 23 laps to go. But it's the Mercedes leading the Red Bull, leading the Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, the Haas, AlphaTauri, McLaren. You've got 7 different constructors in the top 7 there, if I'm no mistaken, which is quite good for the competitive level across the board. But
V2
has got a penalty.
Yeah, V2 struggled on the hard tyres. Jam and Tam have got through now on the restart, but the rest are as they were.
That's it. Status quo has been resumed after going to green, and Snipes has already nearly broke the DRS so for Roller, so if he can maybe, oh yeah, it actually has. So Snipes looking very punchy on the restart. Roller was kind of, maybe you could say he was maybe napping a wee bit, but that's put him right underneath the pressure of Elite and Mid-C and Jitto and everybody else in between, waiting to clip at the Red Bull's heels. But you were saying as well, like Elite and Mid-C can maybe probably have a bit more pressure with Jitto. I think they've actually dealt with the restart better than some, to be fair. But again, the hard tyres again is that Pandora's box in a way. You don't care if it's going to work straight away or you're going to have to take like 5 laps just to make sure they're going to be in a good windy. So the hard tyres are really a bit of a mystery on this game if you're a common player. Snipes
has got some
fastest.
Serious pace out front. I don't know if it's just that Snipes is quick and Race Roller just isn't always a little bit of a mistake there. So I think Race Roller is just struggling at this phase of the race just to get the tyres in and back into some rhythm, but we'll obviously know he's a very consistent racer, and he will be there at the end of the race, and he doesn't usually make any mistakes, so it's just about trying to get back in the DRS range. But at this current moment it looks like Snipes has pace on, well, everyone.
Right, and I don't know how much a concern it will be for Roller. I mean, obviously, like they'll know have that information on hand, but Roller has burnt a bit more his battery, and Snipes is just in that window where he can actually manage it now. So I think Race Roller might be using the next couple of laps to look behind rather than look ahead.
Same with Mitzi. Mitzi's just dropped off in the middle sector. Let's see if he thinks of time penalty. Ogween's been in the chat. It says nice in all capital letters, and then it says cheers Chris with a baby crying emoji. So obviously he's not happy, and
frustrated.
Yeah, I'm not surprised when the race is done after the first couple of corners.
That's it as well. That's it as well. You don't really want to be leaving. You don't want to really be kind of like eliminated for the race very early on. But Ogween, with the pace that he had in quality, would have probably fancied his chances at very much, at least a podium. So I can understand his frustrations. But again, fair initial view, I don't know about you. I don't seem to be too informed on what actually happened, other than the fact that there was a wee wiggle with the Mercedes, and I think 3 just didn't get into turn 3, to be honest. I think that was pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah, I think it's just they were very close on that one, and yeah, I didn't quite see what happened at turn 2 as the camera changed, but I can only think that there was just a tad bit of understeer potentially in the Mercedes, but Snipes has pulled even further clear by a couple of tenths now. Just made a bit of a mistake through the chicane potentially, but they're all in DRS behind.
Sam spun at that long, slow right-hander before the... That's just caught the dodgy chicane, because it actually is kind of dodgy, to be fair. Like, I don't really know how else to kind of like comment on that, but it's just dodgy. SLR dodgy. But it's just a very awkward bit of track there, and Sam just not getting to grips with it. Jam's right on the back of his brother Ham though. Is he going to try and go for a move into turn 1? Nah, no quite there, but both of them putting pressure on Connor, who we've both predicted for some points, currently running in P8 at the minute. But I think Ham and Jam have pitted, Crowden, Crispy, V2 and Sam have all pitted, so it'll be a bit of a task to make sure he's in the points. But
yeah,
versus Ferrari versus Alfa Romeo.
Crowding versus Crispy. Well, I haven't really done anything since the safety car. Crispy's obviously just dropped off the back of this and has lost DRS. So he'll be keen to get it back, but here comes Ham. And he's ahead.
Up the inside. Is he going to go? Is Connor going to try and go the long way round? No, he's not. But that's going to put him on the back foot for Jam, who's looking keen for P8 or P9. Sorry, now after Ham got it off Connor there. But I think if Connor doesn't get a good exit off here, he might be having a wee bit of trouble. But he seems to get the pull away off the corner. But Jam's going to have the long run, and he's probably going to have a battery advantage as well. Jam is going to be forced to the outside, and he is going to get pinched, but it is just enough room for Jam to go around the outside. Is Connor going to go late in the brakes? He is, and he's going to go side by side, and Jam's been pushed wide, but I think there's still some space there. Connor being a bit forceful there, but Jam's going to have another go at it to the outside again. Relay switch move to the inside, and both Ferraris. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Crowden up the inside of Jam, up the inside of Connor, and they're going to be side by side again. It's going to be another 3 wide incident. Crowden has to cut the corner, but Jam and Crowden, both Ferraris, manage to make their way by Connor, and Crispy will be looking at it thinking, this is my chance, I want in about this, and he'll probably get his chance down the curve straight. But again, Connor really struggling for just a general grip, to be fair. He had a wee slide off the slow corner onto the big straight. He's no good battery in his advantage, and Crispy already alongside. No, he's not, never mind, I'm telling lies. No, I'm actually telling the truth. No. He's up the inside. I'm actually telling the truth. Up the inside. The Mercedes slots in to P11, and Connor lost about 4 places in the space of a lap and a half. And it'll just be a matter of seeing if they can keep with them and try and save some of the battery.
It's all going on.
It's all kicked off.
3 wide down and one, you won't see that very often. And they all got through there just about. A little bit of squeezing and whatnot, but they're all through there nicely. And let's see Ferraris appear ahead of the Mercedes. Looks like Crowding has a bit more pace than Jam at the moment, and Jam is obviously not near DRS range. Will he stay ahead going into turn 1?
Definitely, and I think this is it. The Jam and Crowden are going to go at it again, and they've completely missed it. I'm missing it.
Crispy goes through. Jam spun.
Oh, and there's a Ferrari spinning, and it's Jam. Jam spun in the background there, but Crowden and Crispy are going to go side by side again. Crispy running the outside. Crowden makes the move, stick, but Crispy is going to get a shot of DRS down the curve straight, which sounds like it cancels the other one out there. It can't be curved down the straight. It's one or the other. But Crispy is going to be in the DRS, in the slipstream. I've seen Jam spinning in the background. I don't know what happened there, but Crispy were on board with the new. It's Mercedes versus Ferrari, and the Mercedes is running the outside on the straight. Is Crowden going to go late on the brakes to keep up the inside? No, he's just going to settle in, and he's going to just let Crispy take the place. And Crowden will settle for P10. But it kicked off there, Mercs. I was busy watching Jittle, Jittle just driving on his own,
yeah,
I'm missing the.
All come out of nowhere, really. Crowding went for a lunge. There was certainly no team orders down at Ferrari, and then Jam went off the track and carried on, and then Crispy tried to go get both and Hamilton-esque from Silverstone, and then as Crowding makes a little bit of a mistake on the traction, he won't be having a move down to turn 1, but yeah, and then Jam just spun coming back on the track, and obviously Crispy tried to get past Crowding. They went side by side, and he got past him eventually, but all going on, and the lead is now at 2 seconds, give or take, almost, just dropped 1.92 seconds here and there, so he's certainly trying to get that gap up. Be interesting to see when these guys pit though from the mediums.
You could say that. Wait, what? What's happened to you? Apparently, we're taking an ad break.
Well, I've just the same.
I've just noticed that as well. There's like 6 adverts here.
I got ad for it. I don't know.
I've got a Spider-Man one now.
It's all going on. Didn't realise we were in America taking ad breaks during the live event, but there you go. You can see it in the top right screen apparently. So.
There we go. But I also go HD27S. I don't know if that's somebody already in the server, or if that's a new viewer saying what time is the race tonight. The race is currently live, coming for you on SLR's F1 Twitch channel, with myself, Riggs and Mercs alongside me in the commentary booth. Sundays at 7 is when you'll see the Mckeon division, the top tier in SLR, take to the track and compete for the Season 9 Drivers' Championship, Teams Championship, General Pride, Bragging Rights, whatever in between. This is where you'll get all the action live. I feel like I'm advertising for Sky Sports or something. I feel like Sky Sports snap me up. But lap 13 of 29, Snipes with a 2-second advantage at the front, and you probably would say he's kind of looking calm. Like, he's looking at peace. Like, there's no issues there. He's got the battery advantage. He's got the pace. He'll probably just be managing his race at this point. Max Snipes just kind of like a bit of a wild card in this situation. Yeah,
he just benefited off his teammate having an incident in the second corner, and he's just skipped through, and thank you very much. Crowden takes a penalty. Jitto at the moment is falling off the back of this train for second place. Rachel always seems to gain through the chicane, so yeah, he's definitely better through there, but Rachel just does not have the outright pace. Here comes Elite Risk down towards the final corner. Looks like he's going for it.
Elite, easy as you like, down the inside. They take the main racing line. There's contact! Rollers hit the back of him! Oh! Rollers hit the back of Elite Risks there, and Midsy's going to go up the inside. Rollers going to come out of the pits. And so is Jittle in the background there as well. Or is that Jensen? I couldn't actually see. It is the Haas. It's Jittle. Jittle's in.
Here comes Ham on Bezza's going to have a go. No, he's not. But yeah, he just come back in front of him, did Elite, and then Race Roller's just gone too deep on the brakes.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
Cost him a bit of time there. Cost him about half a second, we have to say. But looking on the time on the screens.
And now the question will be, is he pitting to try and get an undercut, or is he pitting to repair any damage?
He could have got damage from that.
See, it's quite weird how the game works with damage though, because you can like absolutely body somebody and get nothing for it, but then you can like take the tiniest wee scrape off the wall and you're losing an end plate. Like, it's a very like touch sensitive mechanic, I feel. But again, I think this might maybe just be to try and get some kind of undercut on Snipes, who was just looking to he was keeping that gap. Like, Roller didn't really have anything to respond with, to be completely honest. But I'm looking at his teammate now, who's on the back of Bezos, who's on the back of Jensen, and this is the battle for P4.
Yeah, they will probably be, well, I imagine they're all going to come into the pits this lap potentially. Ham's got fresh tyres. He obviously was one of the drivers who decided to pit under the safety car, so he might carry on for a bit longer.
Jensen's in.
Yep. They're both in, Jensen and Bezos.
I'm not been... See, honestly, see for Snipes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, Snipes must really fancy his tyre wear at the minute. If he's just staying out, because he's not losing any time to Elite. Obviously, we just seen Elite getting tapped up the backside by Roller, getting into the final couple of corners. But it's not as if like Elite or Midzy are actually shutting that gap down with any real haste. But I don't know if that's just tyre management, or that's just generally Snipes doing really well to make sure the mediums are still at a decent work window.
Yeah, Jitto's right behind Jensen now. They're going to go side by side. Jensen cuts him off just about, slams the door, but yeah, Jitto hasn't got much ERS, but he's going to have a nice run down to
a very smooth exit there.
Zone.
He's going to go for it. Jensen has to give him the space there. Jitto's already enough alongside there. Jitto is going to take the 8th position there, and we're going to have the background as well. We're going to have Bezos and Jam going for it.
Jam's just come out of the pits.
Sorry, Bezos just getting the place there as well. But we've got looking on board way. I'm going to go back into Midzy because he's right on the back of Elite. But Snipes is in. Snipes is in, so Snipes feels that this... He's got a, like, Crown and Roller have a 12-second gap between them, so that will be a good wee bit of space to slot into, and I think that's where he'll be.
Let's see where he comes out then. Race Roller now coming around the final corner.
I think he's got this. I'm on board with Roller now. Snipes is still in the pit lane. Snipes is just coming out the pit lane.
He gets the cut turn one as well. And he's got the lead, and he'll have enough time to get his tyres up to temperature, and he hopes that he will stay out of DRS range and then can push on. He's got a whole 10 seconds ahead of him as well, so he's come out in nice clear air as Race Roller. As Snipes.
Oh, sorry. Roller has brought it down, but it's maybe, what, half a second for what it was? Just 3/4 of a second? Like, it wasn't enough, and like that just shows you that Snipes probably does have some pace in the back pocket. But no, Mid's got a bit of slide through the chicane there as we just caught the tail end of that on board the Elite. And I don't know if, I think Midzy will still get the DRS down the straight, so Midzy will probably be burning a bit of it. Midzy's like, looking at it from our perspective here, Midzy is just pacing himself for this. Like, he's probably going to wait for either a prime opportunity to make the overtake or when Elite pits, so you can maybe see that Midzy is shaping up the overcut.
Yeah, Jensen's quite close to Jitto. Obviously, Jitto got past, but Jitto doesn't have much in terms of ERS, so I'd expect Jensen to make a move soon. But yeah, obviously Elite has got that. A little bit more off. Elite has got that 5-second penalty to serve in the pit lane after he hit the back of Race Roller, I think it was, on the restart. And yeah, so he will drop 5 seconds back, and that could allow a couple of drivers back here, Jitto and Jensen, maybe Bez as well, to be ahead of him. Obviously they'll have the medium tyres when they choose to pit fairly shortly, I'd imagine.
Aye. And I'm on board with the front battle again, Elite and Midzi. Just, I don't think the Aston Martin will be putting the Alfa Romeo under any kind of pressure. I think he's just settling for the fact that Elite's just towing him along. Ham, sorry, in P3 as well, on all mediums, but he's made his pit stop. I can't remember what he started on though. I think he was on the hard at the start, got caught up and it came in under the safety car and up to P3, but I don't know. I think the mediums might find it hard to get to the end. Should he try it, or should he have done it? Elite's in quite early, to be fair, you know? Quite early, so this is Midsy's time to just gun it, I think. He's going to just take the advantage, and even then,
12
Elite's going to have the penalty.
12 laps on those tyres. I mean, obviously Ham's on that 14 those tyres, so it should be fine. Yellow flag.
Oh, yellows! Crispy?
Yes.
Crispy make a mistake?
Because he was ahead of crowding.
Jensen? Oh, Elite's in the pits. That's why it's changing rapidly. I was like, why is it changing so rapidly? And I'm like, that's right, because Elite's pitted. But aye. Oh, and you can never count out Crispy either, who's already done the mediums to the hards as well. So
yeah, this tyres are going to be
Crispy's made his stop.
aging.
Goosed.
Yeah.
Aye. But Crispy and Crowden actually as well, right on the back of Ham. Two drivers we no actually really spoke about after their turn one shenanigans, and Ogwin was the ultimate kind of retirement for that. To be fair, like Crispy and Crowden were able to get away with some damage. Ogwin lost a wheel, and that was it for him. But Crowden's right on the back of Ham, so. Like, you've not really seen much of Crowden and Crispy, to be fair. They're just going to be running the rain race. Is Crowden going to go for a late break and move? Ham doesn't defend it. Crowden goes up the inside. Crowden just edges him out, but does get the place. As Midzy does come out the pits.
Going to be close between Midzy and Jitto, Jensen. I think that's where he's going to come out. He might just come out just behind them or just ahead. I'm not too sure. I'm going to say just... or even side by side with them. So it's going to be fairly touch and go.
He's going to be right on the not too far for Roller, to be fair. He is slipping into a nice fair gap, but that's crucial for him because he is ahead of Jitto, and that's where he needed to be. Elite having to save the penalty, bit the bullet, and was to deal with sitting behind. Well, he's got a bit of cleaner himself, but he's done in P10. Like, this would have been like where Midzy is now is probably where Elite would have been as well.
Yeah.
So this battle would have maintained itself. But talking about battles, we've got a wee battle at the front, and this is between Ham and Crowden. As Ham's trying to give it back to Crowden after Crowden managed to get his way by into the hairpin on the end of this straight. Let's see if Ham returns the favour. This is quite a cool car. Quite like that. Quite like that. That's quite fancy.
Yeah. Crowding obviously with the time penalty, which at the moment means he'll drop back. These guys don't have to pit, but they probably will have to pit.
Aye. I think if you're Ham, I think maybe trying to get the mediums to last is maybe a bit of a big ask. It's ambitious. I like a bit of ambition, but I don't know if this is maybe, I know what they call it, is that a fool's errand, but it's just like, no, you've just got to try something and it doesn't really get you anywhere. I can't mind what the sign is. I think it's that, but you can see like Crowden does edge it through the medium to high speed corners, and then Ham does actually kind of get it back on some of the straights, and it doesn't really lose too much time either. So there is still some life in the mediums just yet, and like Ham will still get DRS here. Like, he's going to get another run at Crowden doing this curved straight, and then Crispy's edging his way into this as well. So Crispy probably locked to be the stronger of the three here. So
yeah,
all to play for still. Snipes isn't he closing in, but again he's probably anticipating the drop off as well. There's quite a lot of stuff to kind of weigh in and factor in that. So this race is far from done.
I think Midzy can win this race.
That is bold. Like, because Like, we've got Roller coming up, and he's already closed that gap down to Roller, and then it's a 2.5 second gap to Snipes, and then we're anticipating a drop off between the top three. So Midzy really is probably your wild card here, and he's already going to have the exit off the hairpin, off that hard 90-degree left. Roller is going to have to go defensive, but doesn't really see it as his fight. Midzy makes it look easy and takes the main racing line on the braking. Is Roller going to make it die this time? Does he tap the back
contacted behind. Jitto spun. Half spun off the side of Jensen on the inside. Jensen went around the outside and Jitto hit the inside of him. Don't know if that was a bit of squeezing or not, but yeah, Jensen's got by Jitto with a little bit of contact involved in that. And Elite stays behind Bezzers.
Elite just settles in there. I'm not going to lie, Mercs, I might have to take back what I was saying about Ham no having the grip for the medium to high speed corners. He's gained it as much as he's got against Crowden here. He's no dropping out his DRS by any means, but again, Crowden and Ham are very similar on ERS battery levels, so Crowden hasn't really got enough there to kind of try and put away or deploy or just dump the battery and drive away. Like, Ham really is making these mediums work, but again, like, there is the point where, like, I don't know if you get what I'm like, because, like, I think you'll get it as well. Like, see, when you're driving, the mediums have a weird level of, like, being really good, dropping off for a bit, and then becoming really good again. Like, so I don't know if that drop off was just kind of happening there, and Ham's kind of fun the second one down the tyres now to kind of keep the pressure on Crowden, or Crowden just doesn't generally have the pace to pull away. But again, he is on 19 lap old hards, and they all carry on.
Yeah, I think Ham is going to be all three of Ham's going to be the first one to lose pace, but the longer he can stay with crowding, better it is for his race. So yeah, I feel like Crispy potentially will get past Ham at some point, and then it'll just be crowding ahead of them two. Crowding seems to have the best pace out of all three of them. It's just whether Ham can stay in the DRS, which he has done
again. Just edging into it there.
Gap under two,
in the 9/10s.
Gap under 2 seconds now between Snipes and Midzy as well.
And it's all heating up in the background there as well. It's all cooking away. And while that's all kind of right in the same pages, we're focusing on the battle for the lead. The new, it might not be an official lead. Well, it might not be the provisional lead. But get a wee camera angle again. Oh, I've got a wee shooting pain. Haha.
Elite has made the move.
Oh,
and he's on Jitto now. He's got Jensen up next, and he does have good pace. Shame he had that 5 seconds down the road, right where Midzy is, probably behind him.
The Mercedes are Crispy there, tucking right underneath the rear wing of the Red Bull there.
Those mediums are second hand.
Yep. Crispy's got to go for the move up the inside into turn one. Here, Mercs up the inside. Ham Disney fight it. Crispy makes it work, and I think that's probably wise for the pair of them, to be fair, because it allows Ham to kind of move the battery, but Ham's coming back at him, and Crispy through the winding lefts and rights and the long left here as well. You can see Ham's got the advantage through here, but is he going to have another go at it? If Crispy and Ham start to battle, it gives Crowden a bit of breathing room. So it's a matter of, do you want to fight for P2 the new and let Crowden run with it? Yellow flags.
Jitto. Oh, Jitto's gone spun.
Aye, that's the long left.
Catching a few drivers out. Elite is ahead of Jensen.
Through the chicane again we go for the 23rd time in the race.
This is interesting because Snipes is catching, but you can see him catching on the timer screen, but visibly he's not a threat just yet.
No, he's just kind of there.
I do expect these tyres to just go off, but Ham continues on. Crowding obviously has that time penalty, which is going to ruin his chances of winning this race at the moment. So, yeah, I'm surprised Ham is still there, really, on 20 lap old mediums that he pitted under safety car.
Definitely, he's making sure that he's a part of the conversation, at least for the now. And I'm looking at what you're saying, and you do actually make a good point. Like, doesn't look like Snipes is really closing in visually, but through the timing screens, he is bringing this gap down. He's at least halved it for when he pitted. And Midzi is in the DRS of Snipes and all, so if the Mercedes of Snipes comes in, he's bringing an Aston Martin with him, so
there he goes. The flap is open and you'll gain even more time now. It's all about staying with him. And yeah, 4.7 seconds is now the gap, and closing still. It was 10 seconds when he came out of the pits. And he is now half that.
Oh, and Snipes went wide. Snipes went wide for the chicane there. So Midzi, if he gets a nice wee bit of traction here on the exit, which was kind of alright, but he's going to have a mix. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have a run on Snipes here. Mercedes versus Aston Martin. Snipes goes to defend. Midzi keeps the race in line and he gets by. Snipes, is he going to go late on the brakes? He's going to stay there on the inside. Midzi goes around the outside.
Oh,
traction beats mediums, beats the hards for traction, and mediums take the place. Aston Martin takes the place off the Mercedes there, and Midzi up into P4. But the question is this the net lead? Are the tyres on the front three going to drop off? That is the burning question. We've got 4 laps left to fin out, so I suppose you sit yourselves tight on your chairs. We've got a long 4 laps ahead of us.
They're all out of DRS.
This race is all but done.
They're all out of DRS up front. They're not even towing each other along anymore. Ham is really struggling on those mediums now. So he should be easy pickings. It's just whether Crispy can hold on to that DRS. Snipes still has DRS. Elite is on the back of Race Roller. So there could be a move now for P6. He's going to get enough speed. Race Roller kind of defends the middle of the track. Goes deep. Can Elite... It's hard to really pass around here. You kind of have to turn that driver out of the way.
Patient.
Yeah.
No. But I think he's going to get it in here, Max. It should be relatively straightforward for the Alfa Romeo into the hairpin.
Crispy's got DRS.
But again, Crispy's managed to get himself back into the DRS. A crowding up in front.
Defensive.
Roller's got to defend it. Elite from the outside. Are we going for take 2 into the hairpin? Elite's gone for a switchback, but he's going to get him on traction. Roller will have his work cut out. He'll need to go defensive again down here, down the straight. Roller's got the pull away though. So is he going to go defensive? He is. Is Elite going to try and go around the outside? He's going to go late on the brakes. Are they going to go side by side? Elite's gone for a switchback. Roller keeps the place. Oh, this is great racing here for P6.
Got it covered at the moment as Race Roller. And if he can defend down to and then a DRS straight and the end of the first of the DRS straights on this lap. It's fairly close.
He's definitely counting on all the moves that Elite's thrown at him now. Elite's just no seeing it run. Like you've seen him there into turn 1. It's no a move that he wants to make run outside. He wants to try and see if he can maybe bait Roller into a mistake with the looks at it, and see if he can go for a wee clean switchback. But I think he'll get another go at it relatively soon, because the mediums definitely look to be in the best shape. If you've got to say, do you fancy something in the mediums or fancy something in the hards? It's probably the mediums.
I thought Elite was going to go around there. You know what, it's almost 3 laps to go. Mitzi's just creeped into DRS range. And Snipes is right there. And Mitzi seriously needs this DRS, because Snipes can still take this away. I have no idea who's going to win this race out of Crispy, Mitzi and Snipes at the moment. It just depends how far.
Mitzi's went deep, and that's going to give Snipes a wee lock in. Is Midzy going to try and get by Ham here in the run down to turn 4? I don't think there's any real opportunity to present itself. It is off fast, free flowing lefts and rights here, but Midzy will be fancying his chances in the DRS. Crispy creeping back out of Crowden's DRS. Yellow flag for Jensen at turn 3, and it's all gone. No, it's for Sim. Sorry, my apologies. Sim really having an absolute mare, but Midzy in the slipstream in the DRS, using every bit of battery left to him. Is he going to go round? He's going to go round the outside. He's going to have to go the long way round on the Red Bull.
Oh, the Snipes.
Is Snipes going to try it? I think he gets edged out there by Ham. It's all in fair racing there as well. Snipes, crucially for Midzy there, sorry, just to kind of completely divert the conversation again, is crucially got a blockade between himself and Snipes, which will give him a bit more a buffer to look forward rather than look behind, because I think Ham's tyres really are past their best, I suppose, if you want to say that, and I think Ham kens that as well. Snipes will probably go for a late move up the inside here on the braking.
Right, too far back.
He's settling in. He's not quite there.
Oh, look at the traction.
Oh, it's
day and
miles
night.
A pair.
Day and night. And he's got DRS for good measure. Gap is 1.7 seconds between Crispy and Midzy, and going down as Crowding is in the lead, but does have the penalty, and it's going to come down between. Oh, someone's made a mistake. Crispy's made a mistake, and he's spun round.
Oh, he's spun! He's right for the Midzy. Oh, and that's crucial. Is Midzy hit him?
I don't know. I don't think he has. I think he's got away with it, but Midzy's lost a heap of time through all that.
And Crowden might just make it here. 3 seconds. This is going to be some squeaky bum time for the final lap and a half here. Crispy, I don't know, is it a puncture or is it just a general mistake? Because 26 laps on the hard seems like a long time.
Let's have a look. He's going slowly, but it looks like he's got all 4 wheels just fine. Yeah, I think he's just lost the car. It's under 3 seconds now, but can Snipes it looks like Ham's going to struggle to get on the podium, but can Snipes take this on the final lap even? He's got a little bit more ERS, but yeah, looks like Crowding might still find his way on the podium, where that didn't seem likely a lap ago.
It's exactly, honestly, I was about to say, because he was looking to be at least P4 when everybody was all grouped together, and now he might. I think P3 is the absolute best he'll get here. Ham's tyres are probably 50 pence pieces by now, and Elite is just a bit too far back to be in the conversation, so I think Crowden might take the win on track, but it'll not be 25 points going into his bank. So, but mid, you can just see again, like the mediums to the hards. It's night and day.
Look how close he is. Snipes is too far back. Yellow flag. And Crispy's gone round once again. Oh no.
I think as well, if you're Midzy, you can just want Crowden's DRS just to make sure you've got something to defend against.
Snipes is so close. Elite is catching so much. Race Roller's right there as well on the back of Elite. They're going side by side almost. They're all going to converge on each other.
It really is all just kicking off. As Elite picks up a penalty, crucially, that demote him. But we're going to go back to the front. Is Midzy going to go for a late move on Crowden? I feel like he'll probably just want to play it safe because he'll know, but no, he's wanting the move. A late move into the final couple of corners to make sure he gets it on track. He was going to get the win anyway because of the penalties, but it is going to be Aston Martin and Midzy, after starting 7 from the grid, does take the checkered flag here and wins in Miami. Snipes does take P2 after looking very much in control for the first stint, and Crowden with a penalty and with 28 lap ball tyres after being involved in a lap 1 incident yet again for the 2nd race in a row, manages to be coming into the pity for a wee chat after finishing 4th.
28 laps on a set of hard tyres, 26 laps on a set of mediums for Ham. How they have managed to do that is quite ridiculous.
And this is This is good information for the Mora.
It is.
No, he started 8th, Midzi.
8th to 1st. Crowding. I don't even know where he started. Let's have a look. Ham up 11 places from 15th on the grid. Almost takes a podium place. Crowding started first, third, finished third, but yeah, that's not the way. I don't think that's the way he expected to finish there at all. But yeah, I did say, I can't remember what even lap it was, but I did say Mizzy can win this race, and he went and won that race.
Definitely, we had him as a wee outsider shout for at least the podium, but he's just went and done a few better and managed to get himself the win. And I think it's the first his first win of the season.
Yep, I've just seen in the chat 5 different winners in the first 5 races.
2012 all over again. You'll love to see it. So
get them in the pie.
I'll be looking forward to hearing what they've got to say. Definitely. But Midzi gets his first win under the belt and wins at the newly established Miami Grand Prix here in the Sunshine State. And 25 points for Aston Martin. I think the fastest lap as well, so that's 26. No, never mind, that was Jam. Completely just ignored me. I was just on the backside. But it's 8th to 1st for Aston Martin. It's 8th to 1st for Midzi as he does take the win here in Miami, here in the United States. Snipes, again, pretty much in control after the first lap contact between the front three. Managed the pace. P2 at the end of the day after starting 5th. Crowden got caught up in the awe. Had the damage, had to pit. Managed to make 28 laps on the hards. Last and get P3. And he'll be coming out of the pit for the podium interviews, as well as Snipes and Midzi, who I think we've already got as well. So we'll be looking forward to hearing what they've got to say about what has been a rather exciting topsy-turvy Miami Grand Prix.
Yeah. It's up to say action-packed from start to finish.
Pretty much.
We had some, we'll say, controversial action on the first lap. And then came down right to the end. Didn't know who was going to win that race. Well, I literally was a few laps ago, didn't have a clue who was going to end up winning. It could have been anyone the way that race went. But yeah, I don't know if Snipes will join or not.
I don't think he has a mic.
Okay. So I'm guessing you want me to do that, Riggs. So yeah, we'll do it.
Aye, please do, mate. Fire on.
And then, so we just have our third place finisher and first place finisher. So I'll start with Crowding. Finished third. Obviously got involved in the lap 1 incident and then went 28 laps on the same set of tyres. Talk us through, well, from basically lap 2 onwards. How was it to manage those tyres to the end of the race? If he's there.
I mean,
I had to have my mic plugged into my headset. That was awkward. Fuck's sake. Anyway, yeah, lap 1. Yeah. I don't know how I survived. I don't know how Ogwin was the only one to DNF, to be honest. I shouldn't have been in the race before even turn 3. But yeah, after that, it was just try and see how long I can go. And then it came to like the last 5 laps and my tyres were like 75%. I was like, I'm just going to risk it and if I get a puncture, I get a puncture. If I don't, then I'm going to secure at least a top 5, but to be top 3 after that one, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I'm guessing you just didn't choose, or could you choose the right way to go on that first lap, or was it just trying to avoid as quickly as possible?
realistically, I went for the only bit of gap that was on the track just to try and get out the way, and then they ended up coming across into that gap, and I was like, why? And then it was just more, I think it's more the collision between them two then ruined me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Well, I think you're kind of making this a little bit of a habit now, coming from back to front basically through first lap incidents. Obviously,
Yeah, I just shouldn't bother qualifying, really.
Yeah, but yeah, well done on the third place, and hopefully you get a cleaner run at it soon enough.
Yeah, hopefully, thank you.
So to our race winner then, B Midseat. Well, I guess you kind of went through that first stint quite quietly, and then all of a sudden, obviously, when Elite was out of your way with the penalty, you kind of just came into your own, showed some old form back from last season. I'm going to say a champion's drive. How was that, especially in that second stint?
Yeah, I don't really know what to say to it. I don't usually. Obviously I enjoy winning, but I don't usually like want to. I'm not usually too bothered. But that was quite satisfying, to be honest. I know I got really lucky. Well, I did get really lucky from the start. Crowd in Ogwin and Crispy all went out or got damage. And then there was that safety car a couple of laps in from Corey spinning. But even so, I think starting on the hards was better anyway for me. I don't think. I think Snipes would have probably beaten me, but I don't think someone like Roller had the pace really. He just couldn't keep up with Snipes at all. Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to keep consistent, stay at elite. I think I showed a bit last week. For some reason, my race pace is a lot better than my quali pace at the minute. And I think that's just because I still haven't really played the game that much. But even so, like I think. I don't really know the limits yet, and I think that helps in the race especially. But yeah, I think my race pace was pretty good. And then when I pitted, obviously, Elite hit roll under the safety car. Again, that was pretty lucky for me because then he was out of the way. But again, I was watching the Deltas, and I think me and Elite were pretty even on pace. And I was just trying to keep consistent because I didn't realise how much the hards was going to drop off at the end. Obviously, it's still a lot different on this game compared to the last game with the drop off and everything. I just realised when I was catching Crispy like, over a second a lap, I was just trying not to make a mistake and hope Snipes wouldn't come back at me at the end. And it was nice getting crowded at the end anyway, even though it didn't matter. But
satisfying, I guess, to make the move and win it on track. Obviously, you had a bit of a moment on the penultimate lap with Crispy spinning ahead of you. Your heart probably was in your mouth at that point.
Yeah, I don't know how. Well, I think I literally must have just skimmed his rear wheel. I don't know. I'm getting damaged, but I chose the right side to go. And that was pretty close. But yeah, it was a really good race. I don't really much enjoyment out of a race like that usually. That was good. And obviously fair play to Crowding for making the tyres go all that way and still getting a podium, and well done to Snipes as well because he had really good pace. So
well done on the win, and let's see if you can get some more later on in the season. And I'll hand it back over to Riggs.
Aye, alright, it was a really good race. Just want to pass my congratulations to the top three, and some good insight on how the races went. And if that tickled your fancy, then there's plenty of merit to come them on when Division 1 take to the track for Miami, where you'll see my co-commentator Merck's taking to the track. I can't confirm if I'll be there yet, but I might maybe just take a day off. Give him a chance, but if you like watching the Sunday night, then we're here next week for Spain. So that'll be Sunday the 4th at 7 o'clock British time. So we hope to see you in the next stream. And if you like what you see, give us a wee follow. Aye, right, that's us. Congrats to the top three, and we'll see you next week.